I'm sure you would love to own a home. Buying a home,
yeah.
buying a home is a great achievement in the life of every individual, couple, or family. And we are fortunate enough to have bought our first home, and we learned some great tips that we would love to share with you in today's video. Stay tuned.
Channel, we learn, grow, and have fun together. In this video, we are going to share with you 10 tips to take note when buying your first home in the United States. God has blessed us for us to be able to buy a home here in the United States. And the house buying process in the US, might be a little bit overwhelming. It might be a little bit challenging. However, with these 10 tips, we know that you are going to buy that dream house and make a bargain on it.
Tip number 1 is to not mess up your credit. Don't mess up your credit. If you haven't yet watched our video about having an excellent credit, we will put the link in the description box. You can go watch it, but you need to have a very good credit or an excellent credit so you can get a good interest rate on the mortgage that you take. So don't mess up your credit. Don't take in new credit cards. Don't go in looking for new loans, because they will affect your credit score, and it will show that you just recently seeked a loan, and so that may negatively affect you. So tip number 1, don't mess up your credit.
Tip number 2, make sure you have a stable job, and you should have at least stayed in your current job for 1 year, because that shows the bank that you are, stable, right? Because the bank will not want to give you a mortgage of $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 if you are not stable. So make sure that you have stayed, you have a stable job and have stayed in your current job at least for
1 year.
For 1 year,
or at least almost 1 year.
Almost a year.
They look at that a lot. Tip number 3 is to not change jobs. So just like Apia said, you want to be in a job that is stable. You have been in it for at least 1 year. But just when you decide to buy a house, it's not a good time to change jobs. Do not change your job when you are ready to buy your house, because that can negatively impact you. They don't want to see that you are just hopping, or you just had a new job and you haven't been stable enough. That will go against you.
I mean, obviously you don't want to change jobs, but if that good offer comes, sure, you have to go for it. So you only change jobs if you are changing jobs to get a high income or a high salary, So with that, you can just notify your your bank or your mortgage company that, hey, this came up, I needed this job because I'm going to earn $1,000 more, $500 more. So I believe that this was is necessary, or it was worth it. So change jobs only if you are going to get an increase to your pay.
And it has to be a good increase. It has to be a very
substantial increase. Okay. So tip number 4, research and know the kind of area that you want to live, the kind of suburb that you want to live. So for example, if you are living in Texas, you are in Austin, Texas, or you are living in Nashville, Tennessee, ask yourself, which part of Nashville, which part of the city do you want to stay? Consider the crime rate, consider the rating of the schools. If you are married and you have kids, consider the ratings of the school. Consider, the amenities around. Consider how close the area is to your job, because obviously you want to live in a place that is closer to your job so that you can save on your gas money. So decide on where to live, and not just deciding by looking at the houses, that these houses are nice, these houses are amazing, but just consider these things that we talked about. What is the crime rate like? What are the ratings for the school? What amenities are there? Is this job closer to your job? Can you easily move to and fro? If something should happen to your car, if you have to pick an Uber or a Lyft, you know, or is there accessibility of a bus? Just consider all these things before deciding on a house. Yeah.
Tip number 5. If you are a married couple, we will strongly encourage you to not get your mortgage in both names.
Right.
For your first mortgage.
Yeah.
If one person's income can be enough to show that you can pay for the mortgage, just let one person go in for the mortgage.
Right.
Both of you can go on the deed, which we can talk about later, but do not go for the loan itself in both names. This is because when you go in with both names, the amount of money that you take is going to go on both of your credit.
Yeah.
It shows that you all owe the same amount of money. They don't split it and say, oh, it's $300,000, so you owe 150 and he owes 150.
Yeah.
You owe 300,000, he owes 300,000, and so it's difficult to get more loans down the line. So it's always great to just do it with one person's income.
So aside, you know, taking having the mortgage in both names affecting your debt to income ratio, the advantage of having in just one person's name is that you have access to a second mortgage at a lower interest rate. We're going to talk more about it in our video. If you haven't watched it, we encourage you to go watch it. But the whole idea is that having it in one person's name gives you access to a second mortgage, and even you can live in your house for 1 year, because that's the rule. You stay in the house for 1 year, and the second mortgage, you'll be considered as first-time home buyers and get that incentive and take advantage of that. So tip number 6, make sure that the mortgage that you are going to get is within your budget. Don't look at what other people are going in for. If your monthly expenses can afford a monthly mortgage of $2,000, just go in for that. You know, instead of going in for a single family home, you can go in for a condo, right? Which might be a little bit cheaper compared to a single family home. If you have enough money, we would even encourage you not to go for a single family home. You can go for a multi-family home, stay in one portion and rent the other portion.
You live smart.
Yeah, you know, you live smart. We're going to have another video on house hacking that we believe will make, you know, would give you access to more income and more money. But the tip number 6, just stay within your means. How much can you afford at the end of the month?
And we'll do another video about affordability when it comes to rent, mortgage, and stuff like that, because there's a percentage of your income that you shouldn't go above when it comes to rent and mortgage. Tip number 7 is that you have to decide whether or not you want to have a realtor. A realtor is somebody who takes you through the home buying process. They have the experience. They will help you make sure that the builder is building the house right. They will help you get good incentives and stuff like that. So they are your middle person. You don't pay those people directly. They are paid by the mortgage company. They get a portion of the mortgage. So you can decide to have it or not to have one, but we encourage you to, especially with your first home, you want to get a realtor.
Because I mean, it's an overwhelming process that you don't want to do it all by yourself. You know, if you're single, that will make it even more stressful. But even as a couple, you need a realtor just to help you navigate, you know, all the difficulties. And sometimes the buyers, they want to trick you, so try and get a realtor that can, you know, show you the ins and outs.
Because they get their money based on how much house you buy. So the more you buy, that is, if you buy an expensive house, they get more money.
Because they get a percentage of the amount, selling price. If you are liking this content, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button below and share this video with your family and friends. Use the comment section and let's get interactive. So tip number 8, be ready to put at least 3.5% of the selling price or the price of the house as your down payment. there are several loans, that is conventional loans. They have FHA loans, they have like veteran VA loans, USDA. But depending on how much you are earning, be prepared to put at least 3.5% down. The USDA loan, you can even get 0% down, right?
And we'll do another video on that.
Yeah. So just save up some money, or just talk to your bank and ask them, how much do you think I'm going to put down for X amount of value of a home. But from my experience, at least the minimum that you can put down is 3.5%. That is based on your income. But as we said, there are several loan types that comes with different down payment structure.
Tip number 9, make sure that you know when your house is going to close, and estimate is such that if let's say you live in an apartment, you are moving around the time when your lease is expiring.
Right.
If you move in the middle of your lease, you pay a penalty, and sometimes that money is really a lot, and you want to avoid that. So in your home buying process, make sure that if you know your lease is running out in April, you are looking for your house maybe 6 months prior to that, so that you can close around that time. So you avoid paying penalties.
As we mentioned, it's an overwhelming process. Can take anywhere between limited time like 3 months, or it can go up to 12 months and over, just depending on how the market is going. When COVID hit, some people had to wait for like 12 months
and
plus.
that is if you're buying a brand new house. Sometimes you're buying a house that somebody already lived in. That's different. We bought a brand new house, so it wasn't completed at the time when we were looking to buy. So it took some time.
So you need to consider all of that. Are you buying a brand new home, newly built, or you are buying a house that is already built? Both of them has its own advantages and disadvantages, and we'll do a video to talk to you more about that. So tip number 10, make sure you have a reserve in your savings after you close on your home. Because trust me, the houses that they build in America is an empty house. It doesn't come with any appliances. It doesn't come with any furnishings. You have to do
some of them.
I mean, majority of them, When before COVID hit, some home builders were offering incentives by giving you like refrigerators, but the basic things the basic appliance that you're going to get will be a microwave and a dishwasher and a range, the gas range. These 3 things at least you'll get it. But a refrigerator, you need like a TV, you need new furniture and all
washing
those
machine,
things. Washing machine, dryer.
They cost a lot.
Right. So make sure you have some money left in your savings, because you never know what's going to happen after you close. That would require that you have a reserve, instead of going to get like a credit card or a loan to buy all those things at a high interest. Just save up extra so that you can use to take care of some of these things. And to throw in one bonus point before starting the house buying process, go to your bank. Why do you have to go to your bank?
You have to go to your bank so you can be pre-approved. Pre-approval basically tells you how much you can afford in terms of a house. So if you are going in,
are they giving
you? If you are going as a single person, or even if you're married and only one person is going in for the mortgage, you want to go in, and based on your income and everything else, they will tell you, oh, you can afford a $250,000. So that is pre-approval. So that letter, you need that letter from them to show your builder.
Your land.
That, oh, this is what I can afford. So they look at their listings and they tell you, oh, okay, this is one we have within your price range. So you can focus. You are not trying to look for $400,000 houses when your bank is telling you can only afford $250,000.
And it doesn't have to get pre-approval from a couple of places, like the bank that you save with, and even the
loan companies,
other loan mortgage companies, or the builder. We found that most of the builders, especially the new built homes, they have a lot of incentives if you go with their lender.
And we'll do more videos on that. We went with what is it called?
Builder.
We went with our builder when we bought our first home. So yeah, we have lots of information for you. Or trust me, we've learned so much. We are happy to share all this information with you.
And we are so glad that we've opened our doors to you so that you know, because we don't want you to make mistake that we may have made, or we don't want you to struggle as much as some people have struggled when they moved to the United States. And so we are happy to share our doors with you. Use the comment section below. You have any questions, you have anything that is bothering you, or anything that you also like to add to this video, use the comment section below and let's get interactive. We hope you enjoyed this video. Until we come your way again next time, stay blessed. And don't forget to put God at the center of everything that you do, because He's the one that keeps everything in place.